G'day team, it's Jeb here, back from Adelaide RV for another episode of Adventure Ready, and today I'm going to be running you through all the essential accessories that you must have before you start your caravanning journey. Okay team, so when you get to your handover day, the exciting delivery day when it's time to pick up your new pride and joy, when you open up the front boot or the tunnel boot, chances are the only thing you're going to see is something like this. This is your caravan jack. So most manufacturers will provide a jack, or they should provide a jack, which gives you the ability to be able to jack up your caravan in the event that you do get a flat tire. But the only thing you would normally expect to find inside of your caravan, besides obviously your keys and your user's manual, is the caravan jack. Everything else you need to pick up before you go away. Now again, the sky is the limit when it comes to caravan accessories. There is a gadget for absolutely everything, all designed to make your camping experience a little bit easier. But what I thought I'd start off today with is just running you through a few of these things here in behind us that I believe is essential for your first caravan trip. And starting off, we're going to be running through your power cord. So in a caravan, we have a 15 amp power cord. So normal electricity that you may be used to inside of your house all runs 10 amp. All right, the biggest difference is the bottom pin, the earth pin is much larger. So here we have it here. This particular one is 17 meters. It's a coast to coast brand, and you'll see here 15 amp extension lead. Now, as I was just saying, that bottom pin is quite a bit larger. That is the earth pin, okay? So again, that's the easiest and quickest way. I'm not a sparky, I'm not gonna get into the detail, but that's the quickest way to identify, okay, have I got a 15 amp or have I got a 10 amp lead? Also inside of the socket side, the female end, you'll also see that bottom one being much larger as well. So again, all of your caravan parks are gonna be running on 15 amp. So just make sure that you don't just grab any old extension lead out of the garage before you go on your first trip. Make sure that you do get yourself a caravan extension lead, which is a 15 amp. So just to elaborate a little further on that, you'll see this particular 15 amp cord here. You'll see here on the caravan inlet, so this is a 240 volt inlet. You'll see what I mean when it comes to that bottom pin being much larger in that bottom earth pin. A lot of questions that I get is, can't we just put our 10 amp in because the 10 amp smaller, it's going to fit anyway? No, it won't, because the cord's around the other way. Okay, so the male end is going to go into the female power point in the side of your house, and then the female end is going to go into this power inlet, which obviously has the male end there. So it just won't fit. If I've got, I don't have one around here, but if I had a 10 amp lead, you'll see that I just won't be able to get in. It has to be that larger 15 amp for it to actually fit in comfortably. Okay, so next up is our grey water hose, or our waste water. Okay, so that will look something like this. This particular one is a 10 meter lead. Now this is a 27 mil ID. It's really important that you get yourself something that is smooth on the inside. You'll see it has a corrugated finish on the outside, but you want to make sure that your sullage hose is smooth on the inside. Otherwise you can end up with remnants of anything that comes down the sink stuck inside if you do get it corrugated both ways. But again, there are all different sizes of these that are sold at accessory retailers. We generally stock the 10 meter. I find in my experience that 10 meters is more than enough to get to most of the waste points around caravan parks when you are traveling. Again, a lot of the new modern caravans all come with grey water tanks, and a grey water tank will capture and store your water coming down from your sink or from your shower. But again, you at some point need to drain that. So that would be when you would then be plugging the sullage hose, waste hose, whatever you want to refer to it as, in to be able to drain that out into a drainage point. Black sullage waste hose, 10 meters at an absolute minimum. Okay, so next up in our bag of tricks, we have our drinking water hose. Now, is it different to any other hose? Yes, it is. It is a food grade hose, okay? So don't just go and grab any old garden hose from the back shed or from Bunnings, because you will get a real rubbery taste inside your water. You want to make sure that you've got something that is a food grade hose. It's exactly what these ones are here that are in your caravan accessory retailers. This particular one is 20 meters in length. You may not need 20 meters. A little trick that I have is I've actually cut 5 metres off of mine. So I have a 15 metre and then I have a 5 metre, and I'll put fittings on either end. So if I pull up right alongside of the actual water meter, I only need to run the small 5 metre. Whereas if I'm a little bit further away, I can run the 15, and I also have a joiner. So if I'm miles away, I can join the 5 and the 15 back together. So little hot tip that may help a few of you out there to do that as well, as opposed to just having a whole heap of drinking water hose coiled up underneath your van if you are right alongside of the tap. Most new caravans now are fully self-contained or self-contained, especially the vans that we have here at Adelaide RV. They all have 95 litre drinking water tanks. So you can run water through your 12-volt pump from your tank. However, if you're at a caravan park and you're wanting to run direct from mains pressure or town water, you will need to get yourself a drinking water hose. Grab yourself some fittings, your little garden snap-on fittings either end. Typically they'll either be like a blue in colour or a white. This particular ones that we stock here are the 12mm 20 metre, and it's in that light blue colour. I will just say, when you are filling up your water tanks as well, it is really important that you still use that food grade hose to fill up the water tank. Okay, you don't want rubbery tasting water going in the tank and then sitting in there for potentially weeks on end, you know, getting worse and worse. So if you want the best tasting drinking water, it is always recommended and preferred that you do that with a dedicated drinking water hose, which again is that food grade hose that I was just showing you before. These are a requirement by law. Now, all you need to do is jump online. You'll find 5 million different types of towing mirrors. The ones that I have here for a removable mirror is the Malenko brand. Again, personally, I find these the best withstanding in the wind. For me, I've gone and put the Clearview mirrors on my cruiser, which for those of you that have been following along for a while, you would have seen in some other videos on my Land Cruiser. But if you are wanting a set of removable mirrors, maybe you're just a weekend warrior, just going out on weekends and smaller trips and you're not on the road full time, these are great because you can just have your normal car mirrors on at all times on your vehicle. So when you're just going about your everyday life in your shopping centres and whatnot, you don't have these big giant mirrors hanging off the side of your van. They can just unclip and go underneath the bed of your caravan when you're not using them. They're super sturdy. For some reason, someone's added an extra clip on this little demo, so we'll take that off, but generally they will have 2 clips to secure to your car mirror, both like so. Nice big mirror head, aerodynamic, and we find that they coat really well. What tests out a towing mirror, for those of you that are seasoned travellers out there, you would already know this. What tests a towing mirror is when a semi passes you back the other way. Okay, so you've got your caravan, you're cruising down the road, 90, 95, 100 k's an hour, a semi all of a sudden passes you back the other way at 100 kilometres an hour, and that wind pressure in between the two a lot of times blows in the mirror, or in some occasions will just blow the mirror off altogether. I've found with the Malenkos that they are super in the way that they stay on your existing mirror. The head doesn't necessarily blow in, and it gives you a really good realistic view. So this is what I have. It is an essential part of the kit when we're talking what you must have. If you've got a set of Clearview mirrors or the like, there's lots of different brands that do them now. Again, as an accessory that we sell here at Adelaide RV and that I recommend, and I've got thousands of people out on the road using, are these Malenko mirrors. Alrighty, up next we've got a couple more items to run through in this video of, again, the essential accessories and things that are really nice to have or must-haves, but a level is really handy. Every destination you get to, every place you stop, chances are you're going to be unhitching the caravan. So I mean taking the caravan off of the back of the vehicle. Now before you jump in bed, you want to make sure that you level back up. When we're talking north to south, the caravan, you do that via the jockey wheel, okay? So you'll either wind the jockey wheel up or you wind the jockey wheel down to get the van nice and level. Now, for a lot of you, for many years, you've probably just stood back and done a bit of a line of sight. You've just eyeballed the caravan. Again, if you get yourself a level, mount it to the front of the caravan. It does make life much easier because you're just sitting there and you're winding to the level. So when the bubble shows inside of those little lines, you know that the caravan is going to be very close to level. Now, of course, it is a big van. It's not going to be perfect. So for the builders out there, it's not going to be millimetre perfect because it's at the front of the caravan. You're winding down, you've got 10 metres behind you. If you want to get super accurate and you've got the room to carry it, you can get a larger level and level it from the centre, maybe under a window or under a picnic table, exactly where the axles are. That's going to give you a more exact measurement. But for 99% of us out there, these little levels are great as well. Again, not a must-have, They do come in a lot of kits, and you will find most people with them in the caravan parks. Up next, we have a little jockey wheel receiver. Now, why are these great? If you've ever buried your jockey wheel in the sand, you'll understand why these things are great. Sometimes you'll get to destination and you'll be winding the jockey wheel, winding the jockey wheel, winding the jockey wheel, and it just won't be moving off the back of the car because the wheel itself is just sinking into the dirt. There's soft sand, soft dirt, maybe a bit of rain recently, and again, that wheel is just going deeper and deeper and deeper into the grass, and then you bottom out the jockey wheel, meaning that it runs out of length to be able to come off. That's where the jockey wheel receiver by Manutech come in so handy. So these are designed in the same shape as the 8-inch jockey wheel, which comes standard on all of our caravans. They will sit in underneath the wheel and just give you more surface area. So we find that this won't necessarily bury in the sand and in the grass nowhere near as much as what the little wheel will. Also, it stops your van being able to roll back and forward, so it does take a little bit of pressure off your drop down legs, and it also takes a little bit of pressure off of your handbrake. You've turned it from being a rolling object and you've turned it into a flat plate, and stopping the van from rolling back and forward. So very, very handy addition, and they're super cheap. I don't know, I haven't been involved in spare parts pricing for many, many years, but back in the day they were like 15, 20 bucks. So now, I don't know, maybe low 20, something like that, but look them up online or chat to the team down here. They've always got them here. The next one they've thrown at me is the Saracen hitch lock. So this is a chain and hitch lock. This is stopping you from, or stopping anyone else from deciding that they want your caravan more than you want your caravan. You're only ever going to keep the honest criminals out when it comes to any sort of safety, but most of the time we're finding that if someone is on the hunt and they're trying to get their mitts on your prized possession, they're going to be looking for the quickest and easiest option. I know for sure when my car got broken into, that's what they were doing through the street. They're wanting to move fast. So if someone's ever looking to nick your van, they're probably going to be looking for someone that doesn't have the front of their van locked. So for you, for your precaution, if you're wanting to make sure that you protect yourself, potentially grab yourself one of these Saracen locks, and whenever you leave destination or leave camp, so let's say you've unhooked, you've set everything up, and then you want to go into town to pick up some supplies, maybe some bread, milk, groceries, just maybe throw this coupling lock on the front of your van. There's different designs for a DO35 and then also the 50mm ball hitch. Super item, so many different brands. This one is the Saracen or Saracen, however that's pronounced, that we stock here. And you also have your vehicle components locks as well for the DO35 hitches, which go straight through. So check them out, add them to your little wish list when it comes to essential items before you hit the road. Okay, last but not least, team. This is a level up ramp. So many brands make them, so many different types. You choose your own adventure when it comes to what type you want, but primarily they have a function to level up the van when it comes, I guess you would call it east-west. So the jockey wheel will level the van north-south. The level up ramps will level it east-west. So you may find that you need to put these on either the driver's side or the passenger side, and you'll see there's different levels. So you'll drive up on a smaller, an intermediate, and then a higher level there. Now this gadget here in my left hand is a little chock. So these are super, super handy. So it's taking the weight off of your handbrake. So when you are up on one of the levels, you can get this little baby and it will go in and actually chock it in whatever location you are in. So there's multiple different ways that you can have these, okay? But something like that is generally where it will end up. Again, you can see there's little grooves. So as the weight of the tyre pushes back against it, it's going to lock it in to that groove there. It just takes most of the weight off of your handbrake, and that's going to help if you get to destination, you get to your caravan park and you check in at the desk and they give you your site, and you get to your site and it's all over the place. Caravan park's full, you can't necessarily get another more level site. These things are going to come in super handy and stop you from rolling on top of your wife when you're trying to go to bed at night. The up and down of the jockey wheel, that stops the rush of blood to the head, gets you nice and level in bed, and this one here keeps you nice and level from east to west. Alrighty, so as I've just shown you, there are so many little tips and tricks and gadgets that you can get into with your caravan. Some are essential, some not so essential. You'll find here Supex and so many other brands have put together these great little caravan starter packs, you know, meaning just getting you off and started, more so the essential items that you're actually going to need when you purchase your caravan. So if you're wanting simplicity, you're wanting ease, you're wanting speed, just pick one of these babies up on your way out of the store. You will find a kit like this in most of your caravan accessory retailers. I know for sure we go through, you know, tens of these a month here at Adelaide RV. It includes your drinking water hose with your fittings. It includes your sullage hose that we've gone through, again with that smooth inside. This particular one's actually got storage bags, so you can put all the different hoses in a different bag. It's got your electrical 15 amp lead. This particular one has got your level ramps, and it's also got a smaller little T level. So it hasn't got your mirror, hasn't got your locks, things like that. So there may be a few little extras that you need to supplement on top of this, but it is a nice, easy way to just grab and go when you do collect your new caravan. So check them out. These items right here are the essential items that I suggest for you to get before your first holiday to avoid any drama when you get out to site. The next video we might do is some nice to haves. So I might highlight some of the things that we find people buying that make life just a little bit easier. But until next time, guys, stay adventure ready, keep caravanning, and how bloody good is Australia?